let's go into the number 2 top story this week is Frost release. So this is from Bitcoin Pleb Dev, who's sitting right next to me. March 26, 23 comments, 10,000 stats. Austin, Keyan, what's this?
This is what Topher and Austin have been
Maybe Topher
on.
can talk.
Yeah, let Topher talk.
It's basically multi-sig for Nostr keys.
Explain everything, what's going on.
Topher probably didn't even watch this.
No, I saw the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, we updated the website.
How's the family, by the way?
Yeah, so big announcement. This is, we've kind of been showing. I've been trying to show what we've been working on with Froster, which is a way to
Showing and growing.
split your Nostr private key into multi-sig using Frost. And it's all been a bunch of talk and videos up until this point, but now we have signed releases for our 2 first clients, Igloo and Frost 2X. And I kind of just walk through a demo in the video. I take my real private key and I split it up right in front of you.
Okay, big
and,
announcement.
Then I sign a note.
Wait, that was your real private key?
That was my Bitcoin Pleb Dev private key, yeah. You can see I post a note at the end.
Oh, because you replaced the shares later.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I post a note and you can go find that note. I think it's just like, I'm testing live or something like that.
Cool.
And then after I did the video, I was like,
Okay,
oh
big.
man, what if I like leaked something? So then I just rotated.
Heck yeah.
So I'm safe.
Or is it just static?
Okay, so this is another thing. We found EK and your other contractor. Who is he? Socks? Well,
EK's not a contract.
help me figure out like a 2-month-old bug that has occurred with my CDN. And yeah, so my videos haven't been playing everywhere, even though they're MP4, because Apple does some like special stuff that I didn't notice. But Socks helped me find that. So
Yeah, there is a working video in the comments.
yeah,
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it worked for me as well on iOS.
I know that's
My
what's so
Mac
mysterious is
yeah.
like it'll work, and then it's really hard to find the cases.
So they
where
do
it doesn't
some
work.
weird encoding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need to use FFmpeg probably or something like that. Nonetheless, I also fixed the video on Nostr and, so yeah.
Cool. Very exciting. What are the other names for places where Eskimos live that you can use for other signers?
And I don't know.
Because Igloo is one. That's a great one. I think classic.
Happy Feet. You have to use Happy Feet at some point.
Oh,
Happy Feet?
Happy Feet's a pretty good one, but it's kind of confusing because you're talking about penguins.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
What else? Polar Bears,
Wigwam?
Glaciers.
Glaciers.
Ooh, yeah, glacier.
Ooh,
Fjord.
What was that commander that went up to the north? Or he went to the North Pole and he like went into he was like looking for something?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
General Bird or something.
Captain Jack Black.
Yeah.
Or Jack Sparrow.
We've got a theme. Got a theme going.
So what are all these
pretty
signing
simple.
clients? So explain all this stuff.
So this is what is to come. So yeah, when you're gonna do something like transform how we manage keys on Nostr, how do you do it without changing everything in Nostr and making everyone do a bunch of work that they don't want to do? And so we're having to be very careful about how we approach this. And so the way to approach it to where everyone has to do the least amount of work is for us to do the work to build example signing clients and then make the implementation of that signing logic as easy as possible for existing signing clients. So a lot of libraries come together in clients to make that happen. That's why we have so many damn repos. But, we've got the core architecture and then different clients that we are building across different environments. So we have a desktop client, which is Igloo. Frost 2X is a browser extension, obviously. We're building Permafrost is going to be kind of a server-side client. Heimdall will be another server-side client, kind of with different trade-offs. One of them being built kind of for Umbrel or for a VPS. The other one being built for more of like, and just a simple API service like that you can deploy on Next.js. And the goal is just to have as many possible clients that you can put your private key shares into, just to make it as easy as possible for you to keep, shit posting without too much friction, but do it in a secure way. So yeah, that's kind of the consideration. What's also really cool, I forgot to mention in the last demo video, is that, when this multi-sig is working together to create signatures, each of your keys are actually their own Nostr identity on Nostr, and they DM each other in kind of a single round. And because of that, that means you can have a signer that is on the client side and not just on the server side. So that means you can make a remote signer for Froster that's literally an HTML page. Super if you're listening. Right? So literally any environment can be turned into a signer because we're using Nostr relays as kind of the rendezvous point for doing these partial signatures. And so, big shout out to Topher on that, because that's just like a clever way of doing things that makes it easy and lightweight.
Software reuse,
What do you
bro.
guys say, Topher? Anything?
Oh yeah, we're
Weird stuff that you found out doing this, and you're like, oh man, I didn't know that before, but now I know. It's good that I know.
Damus relay will ban you if you message too fast.
Oh wow.
And that was kind of annoying. I was hoping that they would just rate limit you, but he just outright bans you, which I understand. Damus is like the most popular relay. Everybody wants to get on it.
Yeah, another thing that's interesting is Primal. Primal has you sign like 30 notes. Or it's not even, they're not notes. They like elicit a signature like 20 or 30 times when you load up the client, which is part of the reason we were accidentally spamming the relays. And so,
It's a few notes.
I don't know why they do it, but it seems like a really good way to exfiltrate private key material. So like it's a little bit sketchy, but I'm sure they have their own reasons. It's just kind of a funny thing that came up. So actually, me and Topher haven't talked about this, but I wonder if Froster being used at scale, would we actually spam the relays too much?
Well,
Because these are all DMs, right? These partial signature
What are you
messages.
saying, Nick? You're saying remove the dependency on what?
oh, Nick wants me to just get rid of
He doesn't like
Nostr.
Nostr.
Let me choose my transport.
Can you explain what he's saying?
That we're using Nostr relays to coordinate all the signing, but Nick hates Nostr with a passion, with a very, very deep passion.
Would
So,
that fix a lot of that stuff, or no?
well, it's just Nostr is just a transport layer, so you could replace that with a different one. But Nostr is just so easy to use out of the box that's like the obvious thing that you go to first.
It's also this is like the biggest problem people have with Nostr coming to Nostr, or like one of the bigger things that keep people from using Nostr is the fact that they are dependent on this one key pair that they cannot rotate out. They cannot, if it leaks, their identity is now needs to be replaced. So you guys solved that problem. So it makes a lot of sense to build it on Nostr first.
I wouldn't say we solved it. We've made it far more palatable, because if you split up your NSEC into these shares and the shares get compromised, it's far, far easier to replace the shares. You can't really replace your NSEC. You still can do very stupid things like leak multiple shares, or just carelessly give them out to where outside parties can collude and steal your key. So you still have to be mindful, but it's so much easier if you accidentally lose or a share gets compromised to just rotate it out. Like, the rotation's really, really easy. I do it all the time. Austin does it all the time. It's like second nature at this point to rotate. So it solves a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, ultimately, like, there could be situations where even with Froster, like, or any other multi-sig solution, like, you still
What you
screw
call
up.
it, Froster? That's what
it's-
that's my biggest.
He says
I
no,
will die
but
on
you
this
can't
hill.
say Froster.
It's Nostr, okay?
Okay.
It's Newts.
It's Nostr, but it's
Newts and other
Froster.
stuff, okay?
I call
Yeah,
it.
it's Froster,
Nostr.
Froster, tomato, potato.
No, not tomato. On this point though, Keyan, like Definitely one of the earliest like insights for me on like a limitation of Nostr was, well, when we were all getting really into it in like 2022, I was working at Fold, and Fold was like kind of into it, and I was like, yeah, maybe I can help get Fold on a Nostr. Like Fold's kind of the perfect fun brand that should be on this new social media, right? And there's all sorts of cool things you could do with sat rewards and zaps, and had all these ideas. But I quickly realized, like, wait, how is our marketing team of like 3 people going to all handle a private key, a single private key, and pass it around? It's unrealistic, and in fact, you're putting the brand at greater risk going on Nostr than just not going on at all. And so I basically had to tell them, like, yeah, this isn't a good idea, right? And that's not a huge company, but it's big enough to where they have more than one marketing person, and really, do you trust your marketing person with the private key anyway? So this helps solve for that problem as well.
A little. I mean, how would you compare it to something like NSEC Bunker and these remote signers? Because those solve a similar at least that problem that you're describing. I guess you could give someone 2 shares, but then they could replace it. So that's not. I wonder what the upside would be of this over another remote signing setup that doesn't have shares.
Well, the benefits that you get from remote signer, you also get with Froster, because we support. Signing. So it's like you can have the remote signer benefit, but at the same time, that remote signer is not holding on to the single private key. So yeah, you could have like, a 2 of 6 or something like that, and each marketing person has 1 share, and they must coordinate with that remote signer. So each of them has an access point, but not a single entity has full control. And then when one of those marketing people leaves the company, you can rotate the key set, rotate them out of it.
So it's N of K, any N, any. I mean, obviously N is smaller than K, but that you can do N of K with this. And then can you set up different thresholds for rotation and signing? Can I have like 2 of 7 for signing, and then like 4 of 7 for rotation? Is that possible?
So from a pure cryptography standpoint, the threshold is the same no matter what for all the operations. But the thing is that all of these signing devices, like you have to solicit them to cooperate. And so you can sort of add additional restrictions if you want. So you can say, hey, I have this threshold, and it's 3 of 5. And so I technically only need 3 partial signatures, but I'm going to make you show me 4. Like I want to see 4 partial signatures before I do something. So like you can, and it doesn't have to be a signature related to what you're signing, but it could be like a signature that's part of some other protocol. Cause like Austin said, like all of these signers, like all your shares are in fact their own key pair. So you can get them to sort of follow some other protocol to where it's like, hey, I only need 3 shares to sign, but I'm going to add some extra layer on top of that where it's like you have to jump through additional hoops to get a signer to sign.
Okay.
So you could do like 2-factor authentication. You can do a lot of other things to make it more have like a more complex setup.
Okay.
If you want it to.
But you don't want to overcomplicate it at the same time. Like people keep suggesting like, oh, this is cool, but if you add this and this and this complexity, then we'll really be cooking. And it's like, well, no one even understands it as it is, right? We're probably at maximum complexity. And so it's like you can do all of these things, like have another rule set on top of the cryptography that has special conditions and all of that. But we sort of have to build up and just, for the average pleb, see that, they can have a sufficient solution to this problem that's workable.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the best things about Nostr is that it's almost the simplicity. You don't want to go if you get too and that's one of the things why we all like it so much is because it is it's simple. It's easy you can understand it in a day. And so it doesn't force on itself a bunch of requirements, and it expects layers to emerge.
Yeah.
So same thing here.
Yeah, and you need to be able to give a simple explanation. Like, it was really cool. Vitor, like when I announced this, Vitor, who works on Amethyst, he was like, "How do I add this to Amethyst?" Right, and that might be a question that would scare another, I don't know, someone in a similar situation. But it's like, we're ready. It's like, here's the library, here's an example implementation for this, and here's an example implementation for this. And it's just like the work is already done. You obviously you have to understand it. It's pretty easy to understand. And then it's just a question of, getting more people into that understanding, and then to poke around the idea, make sure it's secure, make sure it's
Last
workable.
question. Do you guys have an idea of how many people are using it already? How many downloads maybe?
I don't keep track of any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about adding analytics to the Froster website, but I was like,
I just
something about
mostly
that
mean,
seems
like,
backwards.
I think downloads would probably be a pretty.
Does GitHub give you
not
that?
a very leaky privacy thing.
We have I'm seeing stars and stuff like
GitHub
that.
has analytics, so
Okay.
you guys are collecting analytics from GitHub at least. If the download links go to GitHub, you probably have analytics there.
Contributors, code frequency depends. Yeah, if we can say download for releases.
For your own repos, you can see like locations and stuff. They're pretty revealing. It's actually pretty bad for developers, but I was just curious.
Yeah, that's probably a good basic thing to collect.
Yeah. Very cool. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Here, it has stars.
Oh yeah, you guys only got 12 stars. Okay, 68
know.
on the extension.
Wait,
how many?
68 on the extension? Oh, no, probably most of that's from Nostr, right? Because it's a fork.
Really? You guys haven't
Would it
got
be?
more love on this yet? That's crazy.
Oh, those are 68 forks. Yeah.
Oh, 68 forks.
But that has to be a fork of Nos2x, not Frost.
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly.
All right.
I know, like my Nostr MCP blew up, got more stars than anything, and no one's paying attention to Froster. And it's like, this is stupid. Y'all shouldn't be paying attention to this stupid thing over here. Anyway.
I think a lot of people are probably they loaded up their private key was generated in their favorite client, and they're just using that key there, and they're kind of happy with it probably for the most part. But I think people who really know what they're getting into with Nostr are probably interested in this. And so I know you guys got a lot of love on Twitter and Nostr as well. So maybe not. Maybe all the developers haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Spring
It's
break right
still
now.
relatively new, so.
Very awesome.
Good job, y'all.
Thanks, y'all.
You guys did a great job. Super excited for y'all. When can normies use it like me? Today?
Use it today. Get it today while you still can. Get 2 signers.
Is there
for the price
I
of
have to build it
1.
though? I don't want to build it.
The price is $0. It's free.
I can download
Yeah,
it
releases on the...
like a DMG
right?
or
Yep, I got a DMG. Scroll down a little bit. On the
where's
right,
this?
you see releases. Scroll up. Dude, this is GitHub. It's so hard to find releases. On the right, yeah, you click on releases.
Oh.
Scroll down.
Oh, all these right
Scroll down. I got a verification, verify my signature. Look at all those assets.
here. Oh wow! So you have an
It's every
Igloo.
platform except for NixOS coming
All
soon.
right, well. Here we go. We're gonna download it.
I don't know. I had to Google how do you even build? What does it even mean to build for NixOS? But we'll
Cool.
figure it out.
Well, I'll check it out. Awesome.
Cheers.